Guys, what's up? I did not expect to go live again, but we got some controversy. Read the tag. This is in response. This is like a, what is it? What do they always say? Like a warning. I guess we're going to do this live to talk about scammers. We got a scammer in our Discord. I'm waiting for Breaking Bad to come on, so I'll just burn time. I'm coaching. I didn't expect to go live. I do have to address this because it's my Discord, and people were scamming. Alex, I had to, we had to ban somebody. Dude, guys, if you're friends with anybody online and you don't know them in real life, please don't transfer money to them. I think somebody got scammed out of $2,000 in the Discord. Well, I'm waiting for Nick to come on. We'll talk about it. Here's the Discord. Dude, I got the messages I got from Breaking Bad. This was only like 10 minutes ago, guys. I'm all disheveled. I was watching Pittsburgh versus the Ravens, and I get messages from Nick. Can I call you? You call me. Your Discord. Are you seeing what's happening right now? And I'm like, what the hell's happening? And so, hold up, boys. So we had Ticketgate. Now this is Scamgate. This is Scamgate. So I'm gonna start it here. This is Scamgate. Welcome to Scamgate. Now I've had to ban Alex, who changed his name to the $1 Million Man, is on our ban list. Muscles was on the ban list, and now Alex is on the ban list. Here's why. This shit got racial. Okay, 11. Here's Breaking Bad now. Add to the. All right, Nick, take over. I'm gonna bring up the chat. Yeah.
First of all, what's up, everybody? I hope everybody's having a great night. Hope everyone's having a good laugh if you're in the chat and reading along. Shout out to everybody. So at first, it all started with the scandals and the breakaways, and we have Ticketgate with Muscles. Now we have Scamgate. So simply put here, this is exactly what I gathered and read. And the person that I gathered and read this from replied to my comment and said, yes, essentially confirming what I said was essentially about spot on. So from what it is read is that one person in the chat, as we can see from my message, Alex, now $1 Million Man, told him to send his buddy $1,000. I'm assuming like a bookie from like Uncut Gems, like he's fucking Howard Ratner. So he said, send my buddy send him $1,000 and you'll get a 200% refund if the bet loses, meaning you'll get $2,000 back if the bet loses. And the pick lost, and I assume no limit was not paid by this bookie and or whoever was supposed to be refunded. And then this is not being accusatory on my end, to simply gather from what I'm reading on the chat. So yeah.
Does it start? Should I scroll up? Does it start way before this?
So yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh no. And I was just saying, yeah, that's what I read. And it seems like the chat's not really digging it, but it was requested. It was requested for people to go live. People did request this to go live. So
look, they're saying, well, this is stupid. Mac Bobby's not in our Discord. Look, the boys who aren't in the Discord they're not going to understand that. I should have made this privacy under members only. You know what I mean? So guys, if you're not a member in our Discord, you won't even know what we're talking about. So this is a Johnny Says Boxing VIP only. Our Discord is a private Discord. You pay to be in there. We have about 350 boys. It's a professional betting Discord. We have boxing, MMA, NBA, NHL, soccer. We're launching Major League Baseball this year. And so what Nick just said is why they had to call me, because it's my Discord. He was like, Johnny, you got to see what the hell's going on. There's people scamming in there. And so we've had an issue with Alex. If you're in our Discord, Alex, his Discord color is pink. He's usually in the soccer Discord. He floats back and forth. He trolls. And then you just call him out and he kind of settles down, right? That's the Alex. I could deal with trolls. I don't mind. I'm not a gatekeeper. I try not to block anybody. The only people who've ever really gotten blocked was Muscles for lying about his tickets. And if you're unfamiliar with Ticketgate, go to our playlist on my YouTube and type in Ticketgate. You could catch up to Ticketgate. He was making fake tickets. Now this is Scamgate. Now you're reading comments like this. This is why John and also he changed. Alex changed his name to $1 Million Man. What a name!
So if I may interject, I agree with a few things.
Interject.
There definitely is too much drama in the Discord nowadays. I can 100% agree. There's definitely too much drama, and I agree with Mac Bobby. Like, why the hell did he send any money? I agree. Why would you send anyone over the money? I mean, if you got it like that to send someone $1,000, I guess you got it like that. But I wouldn't recommend that to anyone.
Send me the money, and I'll send it right. Like, don't send strangers the money. At least don't send anybody money, boys. What are we talking about? Please don't transfer money from your bank account to strangers in a Discord. What are we? That's why I wanted to go live. So I wanted to just address that. Never. Okay, to answer Mac Bobby, the link is pinned in the comment section, Mac Bobby. It's a couple bucks a month. Look at Jose Acosta, damn muscles.
Mixing scandals now. Scandals. Muscles was Ticketgate and Scamgate is with Alex. And here's a few things that I guess we have to point out. Not that if you're from the chat and you want to listen to it, this is just one thing to point out. And this is just so funny to me is why would he instantly change his name? And then I guess I don't know if you scroll down. I mean, I stopped reading, but I guess he got really hateful, really crazy stuff like that. And then I guess he damn near admitted, I guess, to like scamming.
Yeah, right there.
I guess he said he was going to buy a house. I don't know.
Yeah, he goes right there. Bro, thank you for all the money, my friend. I'll go to a restaurant and laugh about you.
That's just insane, man. I mean, like,
yeah.
Even if he is trolling, that's an insane thing to troll about. So
I was tired of thinking he better bet somebody. No worries. I'll pay for dinner, 5,000 dinner. That's what happened. Karma happened. The guy came to me every day asking me for my picks. You're a clown, bro. Scamming people. Wow. So, like, look, there's a fine line from my perspective, boys who are in the Discord. The last thing I ever want to come across is a gatekeeper. So I'm not one to tell grown men how to act, right? I have a few rules. No racism, no misogyny. And other than that, dude, I mean, it's a fine line. I can't, if you guys are talking shit about your bets, that's fine. Let the boys be boys. I grew up in sports locker rooms. The scamming shit, you're getting blocked, obviously. And so he got blocked, he got banned, and he sent me some messages. He started talking shit to me. I was like, bro, you're making fun of people's ethnicity. He's making fun of people's religions. So add Alex, aka $1 Million Man, to the no JSB insider list, along with Muscles. And other than that, man, it is, we're growing. 350 people. For the most part, though, come on, boys. For the most part, it's copacetic. Is Muscle Brown still on your Discord? Nah. Now he left. Muscles left willingly. Muscles has had the option to come back on. I told him, come back on and I'll platform him. He just hasn't. People have pretended they were Muscles, though.
That has to be one of the funniest things ever. Is the fake Muscles accounts are pretty hilarious.
Since we're here, boys, let me show you the trolling that I get hit with from Muscles' people on what's his other Discord he's in? 3D. I think that that's his Discord. Watch this. You guys are gonna. Hopefully, these messages didn't delete. Oh, this is full transparency right now. Oh, I think they're deleted. How do I search? I'm still learning how to do this. I'm gonna join the Discord. The link is pinned. That's what happens when you get caught. This is like reality TV.
We can still, and that's the best thing is we're still on. We can still talk about some fights.
Yeah. Talk about what. You carry the conversation, Nick, while I search for this. While I search for something.
Yeah, I mean, I came on. I said my piece. I wanted to be the moderator and explaining it real quick. But I mean, we got some interesting scraps coming up this weekend here with exactly with exactly Subaru Matias and Dalton Smith, and then you got a Jit Kaya Ball versus Damian Naiba. I think there's some interesting. I think there's some interesting money to be made this weekend, man. My pre-flop bets have been ice cold, man. So
You're due. You're due.
UFC is my jam, no joke. I got slips, paperwork to prove it. You got to platform me, bro. UFC is my jam, no joke. I got slips, paperwork to prove it. No limit, dumbass. Oh man. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm due, man. I mean, it's just been a cold month. It's been a cold month with some bad reads, bad ways going my way. So, you want to talk about Subaru Matias and Dalton Smith a little bit?
Yeah. We talked about it earlier. I'll put this on. I'll go. What are you seeing right now? I'm gonna just comment real quick. Matias versus Smith. That's this weekend, guys. It's in Brooklyn, New York. It is Dalton's first fight in the U.S. Subaru's first fight since he won the belt back against Puello.
Yeah, I'm curious. There's a few different things that I'm genuinely curious about here when it comes to Subaru Matias versus Dalton Smith. I'm curious if Dalton Smith's going to neutralize himself into a corner, into a neutralized position. I'm curious to see if head clashes come into the case, to see if either one of them will get cut at any moment, whether that's a punch or a head clash, because Dalton Smith was cut against KZ Benjamin, and he was cut against in his last fight against Saint Germain, or I keep calling him Saint Germain. I think it's just Matthew Germain.
Matthew Germain. There's a liquor called Chateau Saint Germain.
I keep, for whatever reason, I don't know why I keep thinking of Saint Germain, whatever Saint Germain is, but Dalton Smith, I think he is good at throwing singular shots and 2s and 3 punch combinations. I don't really think he punches enough. I think Subaru Matias is actually really good at ring cutting, kind of underrated ring cutting. Fun ass fight to retape between Subaru Matias and Puello, if I may say. Watching it live, I actually thought it could have been a draw. Rewatching it, I actually think that 7-5 Matias is the right scorecard personally. So I like the way Matias cuts the ring. I think early on, Matias has a little bit of defense when he kind of takes some steam off the shots. I think he starts to read shots better as the fight goes on, but that's because he gets a little bit lackadaisical in his offense. We've seen in his last 2 fights that he had to go 12 rounds against Liam Paro, and we also saw against Puello, is that he really slows down hard in 11 and 12. And I think that comes from all of the time that he has spent in his time boxing, getting early finishes, smoking people, and drowning them before 8 rounds is even up. So I'm very curious to see how his later round cardio holds up to just the same as Dalton Smith's. Because I think Dalton Smith kind of slowed down against Germain a bit, but he re-picked it back up in 11 and 12. The drop that he had in round 11 really wasn't even a dropping. It was, he hit like his shoulder and he fell over behind his hips. So there's just a lot of different factors in this fight that really make me curious. I think you can make a little same game parlay when it comes out on Bet365, where it's going to be over 6.5, over 7.5, over 8.5 rounds, and add Subaru Matias money line. And it should give you anywhere from even money to almost plus money. And I think that covers a late round stoppage for Matias, because I think if he stops Dalton Smith, he's going to stop him late. Wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if Dalton Smith possibly flash knocked down Subaru Matias as well. Just because he's going to be the more bullish fighter in there, the bigger back, just the bigger fighter in terms of strength. But he'll be the stronger fighter, I should say, in terms of pure strength. But he won't be the more physical fighter, because when it gets into that inside clinching dogfight scenario where Subaru Matias just likes to punch everywhere and everything, he's going to lose that fight. So this fight really lays into the factor for me here is if Dalton Smith's going to keep his ass and his back on the ropes. So
I just want to start to interrupt. There's the chat. Business first. Mac Bobby, level 1 gets you in the Discord. To comment on what Nick's saying about this fight. Look, I respect Julius. Julius is our guy. He's had some great takes in the 5 months that we've launched the Discord, and we've had he's been on the live with me. He knows his shit. For me, it's I've taped this for the last month. I've been waiting for this fight. I'm excited about this fight. Hopefully, he brings up the scales. he cuts a lot of weight, man. You know, it's something that I didn't want to talk about because I'm obviously Team Matias. And I am 0 for 2 in my last 2 picks with Subaru. I picked him to beat Liam and he lost, and I picked Alberto to beat him and he won. So with that being said, history's not on my side. I like Matthias to beat Dalton. The things I struggle with Dalton Smith on being a believer is the fact that the resume doesn't impress me. The last fight, what have you done for me, doesn't impress me. He's not as athletic and explosive and fast as people say he is. He's 28, going to be 29 years old. I don't see a path to victory. People are going to be like, oh, he's going to outbox him. Did Alberto Puello outbox Matias? Would Dalton Smith outbox Alberto Puello? How would Dalton Smith do against Gary Antoine Russell? How would Dalton Smith do against Sandor Martin?
I think that's actually a good. I don't like doing the
triangle. I get it.
I don't like doing boxing mathematics too much. I really
styles
don't.
Though. But if we're gonna triangular styles is what I'm talking about. Not the brands and the resumes, but how front foot versus back foot, counter boxer versus
what's funny about it all is I think when it comes to fighting someone like Subriel Matias, it has nothing to do with him. It has to do with the opponent, right? Because Subriel is gonna box you the way he's gonna box you.
Pressure, pace.
He's going to come
stress.
He's going to lose rounds 1 through 2. This is what Subriel Matias does. I can break down a Subriel Matias fight to the T right now for you guys. He's going to lose rounds 1 and 2. And then by rounds 3, he's already going to be walking you down, getting on the inside, punching your arms, beating you up on the body, slapping the punches away, trying to take the steam away. Shitty X guard. Bop, 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 bop. Until you're so exhausted from backing up and being so much stress and pressure, being under so much pressure that he breaks you down by rounds 8 and 9. And if it gets past rounds 9, he's a little bit exhausted because he put out so much energy himself that he slows down a bit, but he's still like a zombie walking forward. And the whole time, this is the one thing that I think is his most underrated trait, his ring cutting. He has underrated ass ring cutting. He can cut
underrated
the ring
feet.
Off. He can
underrated feet.
He can track the ring well. I don't like that he never really put you can tell he doesn't do a lot of weight room strength training. Like he has like chicken legs in a way, which I don't love.
A lot of boxers do though. It's weird. A lot of boxers, you don't see a lot of, you know what I'm saying? And you're coming from a jiu-jitsu MMA background where you see guys, the foundation's different. The base is different. The training's different. I like what you said though. I do think people underrate his ability to move a bit.
And I think, and all of this, like being said, like, I know I'm like kind of rambling a lot. My apologies for that. I think when it comes,
I don't apologize. I don't like the apology bit.
No, fuck that. I won't apologize then.
Yeah,
but
good.
Just when it comes to that, that's how Subriel fights every single fight, right? Where Liam Paro had so much success is he was able to come in. He was able to clinch and minimize, as I always call it. I always call it clinch and minimize, and this can mean a few different things. He enters the engagement. And Liam Paro entered the engagement behind a blinder or a feeler, or he entered the engagement and he either clinched and smothered, or he clinched, punched, and then disengaged completely. He didn't stay in there in the engagement with Subriel Matias. And anytime he came a firefight or any type of real engagement, he would hold and clinch up so much so that he got a point taken away. And my thing is Dalton Smith, and another thing with Alberto Puello. Alberto Puello, who's a damn good boxer, in my opinion, the best win on Subriel Matias' resume by far, by a country mile. And that Goyas win is aging very well after he got that robbery loss against Lindolfo. Real motherfuckers know that Goyas won that fight against Lindolfo Delgado.
Dude, I was shocked, man. I thought Goyas got that ass beat against Matias. And then 3 months later, he fights a clubber in Tijuana, a 6-rounder, and lost, but they gave him the win. Did you watch that fight?
No, I didn't watch that fight. I only watched the Lindolfo fight.
He was stunned. He was flat. He was lethargic. And I was like, surely he's done. And then he looked good against Lindolfo. Thank God we got the robbery decision and we won. But But I think with Matias, where it gets dangerous.
I just don't think Smith is going to be able to clinch and minimize like that. And I don't think he's going to be able to skirt against the ropes for 12 rounds with the cardio-based pressure and the counter punching that Puello has. I just don't think he has that arsenal in him to do for 12 rounds. And we have to see his adaptability at this level. I think that unless Dalton Smith is going to have to be faster, he's going to have his conditioning is going to have to be on point, and he's going to have to be able to
punch going backwards. There's a lot of things he's gonna have to do that I haven't seen. He didn't, he dropped Matthew Germain a couple times. He wasn't able to finish him. I didn't see much urgency on his game plan. Maybe he wanted to get rounds in. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna rewatch that fight again. We watched it live. Another thing about
the drop in the 11th round was like on the shoulder when
the
Matthew
early
Germain was
the
leaning too far
yeah
over his base. The 12th round was a good drop. I
got dropped in
agree,
the
bro.
second too.
I didn't. That's one for whatever reason. I thought I knew he had one in the early rounds too as well.
Yeah,
I agree though. He doesn't fight with great urgency. I just don't think he fights with great levels too.
That's what I don't. Yeah, I don't like the. He's almost blasé about his work, how he operates. I don't see the gears, and also, Super Matias has this like accumulative power. He has this like for having a knockout to win ratio.
That's by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah,
he's
but
a death by 1,000 cuts kind of guy.
I think I would put him in between. I think there's another category of that. I would call death by 1,000 cuts like William Zepeda. A lot of his stoppages are like,
because he punched him 700 times.
Yeah, you melt and then the ref steps in. But Subriel's is like, I think a lot of guys underrate Subriel's
the left hand to the body that he throws is just sickening.
When he throws that left hand to the body and his hooks to the body, it's almost akin, and maybe it's a bad comparison to like how Alex Pereira low kicks. Pereira's low kick is stiff and it's short. It doesn't look technical. There's not a lot of whip on it. And this Matias kind of punches like that too with that hook. And I think some of his opponents early on, they get a false sense of security into thinking that, oh, he has a lot of knockouts, but he doesn't punch that hard. And then you start fading a bit. 5th, 6th round comes along. You're getting touched a little bit more. By the 9th round, your arms are sluggish because he's worked the arms. He's worked the shoulders. And then you start running out of gas. We've seen this happen, and Dalton needs to be on point with his conditioning.
I think a big thing too is Subriel Matias, just like to add on to that point, beyond just the way he picks apart and he builds and he grinds, right? But he is so energy conservative when it comes to Subriel Matias. He's so energy conservative with the way he throws his punches inside of the pocket. He doesn't wind up on any of them. All of them, like you said, are short, tight. So he can throw a bunch of them. And he doesn't have to, and he can throw a bunch of them while they're energy conservative, and he can throw them while slapping off shots just because they're so unconventional. I don't know if you noticed that or not too as well. Little steam off, X guard, bop, 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 little like stylish work to him. And then another thing too as well is he has long arms, very long arms,
74-inch reach.
Like you can see it on the tape is that he has that wiry strength. Like you can tell it's like wiry. It's
There is a hesitation. Like Dalton is going to have his openings. Dalton's going to have to punch with him though, because when Subriel gets you against the ropes and your back is against the ropes, he will give you both shoulders. He gives you both hips, and he throws his hooks. And he keeps his head right there. He does keep his head right there, and he is there to get hit. I was going over.
I love you, bro. Like it shows this man knows his boxing. But did he just bring up an Ergashev fight?
David Eister's a G, dude. Eister's an OG of the channel.
Isn't the Ergashev fight from like 2020?
Yeah, it's 2020, 2021. No, he's an OG to the channel, and he knows his boxing.
The only reason I say that is because I just think you can't bring up tape from 2020 when we're talking about a fight that's happening in 2026.
Yeah, especially watching.
Which honestly, and look at how it bit me in the ass. My own rule last week. I did all this deep dive tape from 10 years ago to see Bomba get knocked out, and it bit me in the ass.
Yeah.
Sticking to my guns. I don't care about tape. That's
2 years.
3 years is my number at most, at absolute most.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have fighters that only have 3 fights in 3 years. So I don't mind that 3-year gap. But dude.
But the thing you also have to look at, like if you cap it at 2 years, I usually cap mine at 2 years, depending on how active they've been. But if you've noticed though how a fighter is evolving, like I thought Subriel Matias had leveled off in the Liam Paro fight. I was like, all right, this guy, a lot of his knockouts are against guys people don't know about. Liam Paro went in there, 116 to 112, well, like 116 to 111. A couple points were taken off, something like that. And I was like, all right, he won by a couple rounds. And then you saw Matias against Puello, and then Matias against Goiás, and then Puello. I was like, dude, he's actually gotten better. Like, I didn't think that he had it in him to level up. So I'm not going back to watch the Inyanyan fight, the fight that he lost in 2022. I think he fought Inyanyan the first time, lost, and then he knocked him out in the rematch. I don't have to go back because now I'm watching a guy who's actually leveling up. He's not the same guy he was even 3 years ago. And I was impressed with his movement and his reaction and his twitchiness against Puello. I didn't expect him to be that active. Now, I did have Puello winning rounds 11 and 12. I thought Puello won that fight, and
Definitely.
other people didn't.
Uh,
And obviously, Subaru's a champ.
I'm going to be honest. I think the only rounds you can clearly give Puello are 1 and 2 and 11 and 12. And I think even 2 may have a little bit of diciness to it. Like, I just like rewatch. There was one more round in those middle rounds too. I know I'm missing one that was clearly Puello round 2 as well. I thought 7-5 was the right scorecard. But David,
Yeah,
that's so real quick, David, just to answer on what you were saying, I did say earlier, I don't know if you missed it. I think Dalton Smith could be a guy that put Subriel on the canvas. I can't remember seeing Subriel get dropped on the canvas, and I'm a Subriel's like my favorite fighter. I can't remember ever seeing him get touched on the canvas. Again, I can't remember that deep into tape from 2019 and 2020, but I know he didn't touch the canvas against Goiás. I know he didn't touch the canvas against Paro. I know he didn't get touch the canvas against Puello. I know he didn't touch the canvas the Roberto Ramirez fight.
mm-mm.
There was one more too as well. But either way, what I'm saying is I think Dalton Smith has power and he's sturdy as hell, and I think he could possibly knock Subriel on his ass. But I think it would be more so because of how sturdy he is. Like, he punches people on their shoulders while they're falling over their base and moments like that, to where maybe they fall over. And Subriel Matias isn't that big and that physically strong. But I just don't think, I don't know, man. I think like it wouldn't surprise me to see Dalton Smith drop him. It would
Yeah,
kind of surprise me to see Dalton Smith win this fight. Just
yeah,
simply put, to give out my prediction now, like my Patreon, my boys on my Patreon have had my prediction out since Saturday morning, I believe Saturday, like 5 or 6 a.m.
yeah.
So, or maybe even Friday, one of those two. But either way, because I'll drop it on YouTube as well, I just feel Subriel's gonna win this fight. I've said it on your channel when this fight was announced. I think this is Subriel's last big shining light performance before we see the style and the age catch up, because Subriel's catch one to give two style, Subriel's zombie walk forward hittable ass style doesn't age well regardless. So all of these things being said and added together, I actually think Subriel is going to have a great performance no matter how it's cut. Whether it's one of those performances where by the end of by the scorecards are read, we're like, yeah, no doubt Subriel won that fight. Or it's going to be one of those moments where Subriel stops him late. One of the two.
Something to think about as well. If you look at Dalton's last 6 fights, 5 of the last 6 fights, and you can take what you want about this to I like random stats. He's either had points deducted or have been cut with like elbows. Like, there's a lot. I don't quite throw him in the Emmanuel Navarrete category in terms of like wild shit always happens when he fights, but you do have to take that in consideration. Low blows, point deducted. Rapid punch, point deducted. Headbutt, big gash. Cuts. It's that style because he jumps in. He jumps in. And who's gonna be on their back foot? Do you think he's gonna have the power to get Subriel on his back foot? That could happen. It could happen. And if the people tipping Dalton are right, I think Dalton makes Subriel look basic. I don't think it's hard for me to see those two styles doing a 12-round back and forth war. I think either one side or the other walks one of the other. That's based on how they fight.
I think
I'd love to see Subriel. I'd love to see Subriel in a war though. Like a fucking
that was kind of what I was saying earlier. Like, when I think it's not really basis of Subriel, it's basis of his opponent. And what I meant by that is, how does his opponent choose to fight Subriel? If you choose to fight Subriel like Liam Paro, where you're willing to get a point deducted, but you're going to win this slow, boring ass grinding 12-round fights, where you're going to win by clinch and minimizing, then you can beat Subriel Matias. If you're willing to skirt along the ropes, if you have the cardio for it to counter punch and have enough pop to make Subriel respect you while having your back against the ropes, and on the back foot the whole time, then you can beat Subaru Matias. The thing is Dalton Smith doesn't fight like that. He was pushed against the ropes against KG Benjamin, and he had to use his athleticism to explode out of the ropes, which how much energy does that take out of you? Fighting against a pressure fighter like Subaru Matias when he's already going to be beating up the body and putting you down and draining you out that way. All of this stuff here is just, I just don't think he does. I think Dalton Smith is going to invite the firefight far too much. I just think that comes to what it comes down to. He's going to invite the firefight far too much, and it's going to be his downfall. And honestly, bro, I love you, Kiza. You say I need to see Matias versus GAR or Pitbull. I think it's funny, too, because I think GAR is the only champion at 140 that Subaru beats.
I just want to let Mac Bobby, I just saw you sign up to the Patreon. I'm going to send you the link to the Discord to get all the picks, by the way. What did Kiza say? He wants to see Matias versus GAR? Or I don't rate Pitbull. I'm sorry. I think Pitbull, the style for me, every time I watch Pitbull, I'm like, eh. I thought he lost against Roach. I'm sorry, you guys hate that comment.
No,
but
no way. No
you
way.
You thought Pitbull won that fight?
I thought the draw was the perfect.
You like the draw?
I thought the draw was the perfect scorecard.
Okay.
I thought, and I will say this straight up: if you scored it for Roach, you just bet on Roach. Yeah, you just must have had a bet on Roach. I truly believe that. Everyone that's outcrying, and you didn't call it a robbery. Thank you. I
didn't say robbery.
I know you didn't.
It was not a robbery.
Anyone crying robbery on that, I'm just like, dude, how much money did you lose on Roach, and why didn't you bet the draw live? Like, anyone with a brain would have bet the draw live on that one. That was like as clear as day it was going to be a draw. And
I told you why I don't.
And honestly, and I know you can't call in. We
can't call in.
You have to call in. I know it's bullshit, but guys, Roach. If anything, Roach lost that fight. If anything, Roach gave away that fight. At least Pitbull tried to take the fight by the scruff of the beard. What?
You think so?
I do. Well, fuck yeah, I think so. Fuck yeah, I think so.
I thought he was basic. What? I thought Pitbull got hit a lot. I didn't see a game plan from Pitbull. Like Pitbull's basic to me, man. I'm not a fan of his style. But GAR versus Matias. Let's go.
I would love GAR versus Matias.
Ryo versus Matias.
One sec. I know I have my Cruise Pitbull scorecard somewhere here.
When was the scandal with Muscles? Yo boxing, baby. You gotta find. You know what I'm gonna do? You gotta go to Ticketgate. It's on my channel. I'll clip it for you real quick, boys. Ticketgate explains it all. Muscles was caught multiple times doubling down on making fake tickets, specifically Junaid Boston versus Bilal Fawaz 2. When Johnny Says Boxing Insiders, we took Bilal Fawaz at plus 275. The rest of the internet took Junaid Boston chalk. And when all the boys were coming in with their hits, if you know Muscles, you know that Muscles is a
chalk. He bets chalk favorites. That's what it is.
He
likes to combine a bunch of minus 700s and minus 1400s, and he likes to make an even money profit.
And he's never made he's never went heavy on a dog. Ever. It's just not his style. We don't have our own style.
But let me tell you why. All right, so let me explain Ticketgate real quick to give all the details to make it seem like a little bit better, just to add what it needs to be. Bilal Fawaz was never at any point a plus 106, except for maybe live at the end of maybe round 7. But never pre-flop was he ever. No one on planet Earth has a Bilal Fawaz plus 106 ticket. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist on planet Earth pre-flop bet. And Muscles sent us a picture of a $20,000 bet at plus 106 on Bilal Fawaz. The thing is he has a $20,000 bet on a plus 106 old ticket from a flop parlay.
The Chilltown.
Yeah, so that's what happened, is that he had a fear of missing out because every one of us was like, fuck yeah, Bilal Fawaz, baby. And he had the FOMO moment where he literally had a ticket created. And
then he doubled down.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about both scandals is both people that got caught went crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Crispy
Why
Chris,
can't you?
my G.
Why
I
can't
need
you
to
just fess up?
I need to settle something though, real quick. I got my
Go.
Cruz Roach scorecard. This is how I scored this live, y'all.
Put it up.
We're
Let's
we're
see it.
going. I gave Cruz rounds 1 through 2, 10-9, round 3, 10-8. Okay. So we have Cruz already up 30-26. Round 4, I gave Roach. Round 5, I gave Cruz. Then I had Roach clearings round 6 through round 10. And this is where he got too comfortable. He lost both rounds 11 and 12. And he had that 10-8 in round 7 because of that bullshit point deduction. Okay, what are we talking about here? So, if it wasn't for that bullshit point deduction, Cruz wins. Factually, Cruz wins. On the scorecards, Cruz would have won because one of the judge gave it to Cruz. And without the point deduction, the 2 draw scorecards would have went to Cruz, which would have cashed me regardless because I had Cruz and I had a draw. Would have never put my money on Lamont Roach at minus 290 or whatever he was.
Guys, that's the
The
link.
draw was the perfect scorecard.
That's the link for Ticketgate. If you want to get up to date with Ticketgate, it's Japan Fight Night Ticketgate. Anyway, and who's the other guy that caught was Alex, Ryan. Alex got caught scamming. He changed his name to $1 Million Man. Fast forward, rewind this to the first 10 minutes. And you'll get to talk. We'll get to talk about it. But yeah, did you take did you win money on Cruz?
The draw.
Oh,
Yeah, I gave that out for free on Twitter. Actually, I gave out the draw live on Twitter that day. The only 2 plays I gave out on the Twitter that day happened to be Kona Walker and the draw live. So good plays on Twitter. And ever since then, I've been ice cold.
Ice cold. You about to get hot though, boy. Hey,
I'm
Nick,
ready for it.
It's after 2 p.m. here. I gotta continue on my day coaching. But thanks for coming on. Hey boys, if you like Nick and Breaking Bad Boxing, go subscribe to his channel. Get to know him on my channel because you're gonna be seeing him every Thursday, Australia time. We're launching our MMA only betting live stream starting this week with Nick from Breaking Bad.
Yes, sir. Yeah, go check me out. I'll be having Subriel Dalton Smith breaking down, dropping in like 20-ish hours. Then I'll be having a Jit Kaya Bell breakdown dropping as well. Join the Patreon for any specific requested fight tapes on Breaking Bad Boxing at Patreon. So,
all right, brother. Nice seeing you. And boys, take care. I'll see you tomorrow.
Later, y'all.